with Weaver. All right, a good way to sort of separate from the Razor. Interesting option. Is it actually going to be even a core Weaver? We have to wait for out that Raging put a cliff wall, and he was able to get it. So that's a solid start for him.
Yeah, just taking away a little bit of that vision. And down bot, of course, AU is hanging around with Natsumi on the Weaver. Already a good dispose out onto AU. Can't underestimate the damage from Cuckoo. But that Soul Assumption does find that kill. So first blood already. Any counterplay coming out here from the side of Polaris as well? Like, is this something that can get aggressive? The Clockwork plus the Weaver? As they do find Force up top. So Gabby and T1 already off to a great start. That lane, as you mentioned, it does.
Compared to the 11 and 5 on Gabby, is so much denies coming out for him.
And just controlling the lane really well. Does get the avalanche off with no toss back. As mentioned, Gab just building up those Jingus now. Has the full stack onto Xavius and should just melt away. The damage is there. And Gabby, another kill onto the Monkey King. And again, T1 just getting that strong laning start so far. Gonna take a look at the mid just a bit as well. Lelouch has been kind of struggling up against Carl. Not by too much, but he has built up his Cuckoo once again. Finds a kill down bot onto Natsumi this time. Another dispose out onto AU. And a Soul Assumption out.
While reducing that. Well, not reducing that. For Carl, he can reduce it, but... And yeah, it's hard for the puck. He's got to get his last hits only with the Illusory Orb and Waning Rift. So there's quite a bit of downtime.
Xavius in trouble again, getting slowed down by the Arctic Burn, but not fully committed from Gabby. A little bit too far. Still manages to get the Jingu stacks though. Chases and Force down, slowly poking him with his stick. And that should be another kill for Gabby. He misses one right click though. Splinter Blast will clean up, and Whitemon picks that one up for himself.
He's just able to keep up scaling and was able to take him. So Weaver, not somebody had, you know, he's a legit carry on this Weaver. It can work. Wow, top lane though.
Get the dispose off onto Force. Raging Potato just showing up to provide that avenue for Gabby. Jingu's all up. Takes a little bit more with the Spirit Siphons, but not enough to stand for Force, but I'll save that siege creep. And Cold Embrace comes out. It's going to be an early push.
Lelouch is here though. Might go straight for Raging Potato, get that kill. And there goes the recoil.
Only onto one. Only onto Carl. And Carl caught into Cogs, but still find that kill onto AU. They do find Raging Potato for their trouble. Keeping the chase up. Natsumi early on in this fight. Toss out from Lelouch does connect onto Carl. Avalanche installed. Gabby starting to drop low. Is taken away. Natsumi and the Weaver weaving in and out. It's just working out. He shows up top and he gets it done. And AU. No hook shot yet in the clock. Lelouch is ready to go with a Dream Coil. Could find Carl hanging around in this jungle.
Tough kill.
Managed to find him. Dream Coil out. Can they get him? Snap on the coil. AU comes in. Winter's Curse immediately out from Whitemon to counteract, and AU's gone. On to Lelouch. They go. The punches fly out from Raging. They find 2 kills for their trouble, and the tips are flying out. Carl's feeling himself.
500 gold just to get it. And we talked about like how this is kind of annoying problem with tiny support, right? You gotta have a good game to get the Blink Dagger. Polaris, they're kind of seems like they might want to fight this.
Hook shot. They catch out Whitemon, isolating the Winter Wyvern, but she still manages to fly away. Lelouch does get the Dream Coil onto tree. Where's the follow-up? Cuckoo trying to drop those familiars down. Gabby's still around the area. Still has the damage. Curse out onto Xavius to hold him back. They still manage to lose Whitemon. Cuckoo starting to drop a bit low, being chased down. Natsumi getting the damage off, and now Gabby in the spot of danger gets tossed up. Does not manage to really maximize his Jingu yet, but still alive. Natsumi with a chase though. Does find him, but Carl cleans up in the end. Xavius going for the TP. They do not have the familiar stuns off cooldown. So 4 for 3 in the end there.
Take a 5-on-5. It has to be pickoffs for them most of the time.
So look at that. Raging going very far with the Tumbler Story. This push onto Force. Hook shot from AU does cut off Cuckoo. And is starting to melt in the middle, but they share the damage. He gets blown up by that Avalanche toss and Dream Coil coming through. Carl still standing forward. Has the BKB. Will BKB TP away. This Whiteman's caught in the middle. Does have the curse, but doesn't see a good target. Cold Embrace to stall. No one coming to his rescue though, and is going to be sacrificed. A much cleaner fight for Polaris there. They just want an additional way of preventing that time lapse, perhaps. Maybe preventing the puck from jumping around here as well for Lelouch. Nothing defensive coming out yet. Smoke out, but awkward. Invis already out from Carl. He just breaks it. So immediately spotted out. They drop the sentry a bit too late, and Carl still has the BKB. Will walk away. And hookshot's still there. AU wants to go for this, but the backup's a bit slow, and Carl is still moderately fine. Does get Avalanche tossed out with the Dream Coil break, and Carl is gone. T1 not grouping up behind them all too fast, but here comes Raging. Does not manage to get the Disposed Silence, is out. Still running away from that Wukong. So damage is coming through from Gabby to toss out. Does not save. Curse out onto Savius. Damage is flying through, catching out Force as well. He is still alive on the Tiny though, but rebound forward, jump away from Gabby, and they find 2 for Cuckoo.
Good for, I mean, they lost Carl.
Boss play. Tried to snipe that Aegis away. T1 still staying fairly clumped up in there. Natsumi can try to scout. They've got good vision coverage on T1 Sendo. And we jump forward. Xavius with a toss back, and the Avalanche does
nice
kill off
shot.
Raging. Great hook shot onto 2, catching Gabby at the back. Xavius still dropping low, is taken away, but Force with BKB holding his ground. Gabby getting some good hits with a Boundless. Time Lapse is there to save. And the Dream Coil just to clean up Whitemon. 2 already gone, but the dieback in Xavius is there. So it does even out, and that could allow Polaris to clean up Roche. Force still has some good time on the Exo, not quite enough, and Carl spots it out, gets a static link. Roche is about to fall. Force does get Aegis. Immediately loses it and sacrifices Natsumi. Force, second life, not going to be able to do much with it, as the rest of T1's there to clean up. And a lot of commitment from Polaris, but it bites them in the bum there, Otomo.
Yeah, that was...
Natsumi forces the 2 TPs up top. No one.
They even smoked. They're going for it.
You get the smoke out down bot, looking for the chase forward, but T1's also smoked up. So they're not going to be caught out just yet. Smoke breaks from Gabby. Monkey King powers right there. We don't see him yet. They're not chopping the trees. Still safe. Does manage to jump in. Cuckoo goes in with the Orchid right onto AU.
Nice
Get
save.
a cost pack on Force. But Gabby with the BKB still wants more. AU holding them back. Dream Coil out onto Whitemon. Hook shot away for AU as Whitemon starting to drop fairly low up front. And backline as well. Natsumi trying to get some damage off. Carl with a BKB, not going to be stopped by the Avalanche. Still keeping chase. Orchid out now after the time lapse. Natsumi is going to be gone. Force standing his ground, trying to sustain for the team. They find Raging in exchange. A 3-for-1 so far in favor of Polaris is tossed forward. Carl, BKB's gone. He's going to be able to scurry away with a buyback on Whitemon to prevent any further to take a bit of an angle forwards. Gabby getting the scouting going. Good position for Polaris here, but they are on the low ground now, so it can be awkward. Smoke breaks in Gabby, spots a lot of them. They see him jump across, immediate BKB from Force, forcing Gabby to BKB as well. Trying to get the hits off, but Force is just too durable with that spell immunity. Sideline, Lelouch does manage to jump the back line along with Xavius, getting tossed back onto Tree.
Nice
and big
shot.
hook shot onto Tree as well. Curse out the save for now. AU gonna survive Tree. They hold Natsumi, but can't really damage Drew. Force the time lapse early. Force still holding the front line with Spirit Siphons, but is isolated now. And T1 manages to find that angle. Great come around from Polaris to look for the rear, but just not quite enough to win out. So has a little bit more damage on the Geminate as well, plus 90 on that one. The right clicks are amping up. The T1, and they still maintain a 6k lead. They're the ones kind of working the map. They see Lelouch once more. Blink forward with the Dispose and the Boundless. Do they have enough time? They do. Cleaning up Lelouch, stepping a bit too far on the puck. And they get a great curse out as well from Whitemon, just holding down AU, but is enough to find that kill Jetpack to try and run away. It does hook shot down, so just drags him closer to the team, which allows T1 to jump on top of Xavius now, clean up the Tiny, and possibly gun for that mid.
And by the way, a lot of that kill on Lelouch, all thanks to Raging Pune taking that 0.5 seconds Dispose talent. If he hadn't taken that, they outpost.
Smoke out. Being sneaky, going into the high ground, knowing that Polaris will want to fight, and they spot them out. Great wards. Silence immediately out in AU. They get the stun onto Force as well. Avalanche to break off for now. Toss back on Gabby as well. BKB is ready to go, as they are trying to fight inside. Trying to burst down Whitemon before anything else, and he will find him. Gabby, way too low in the middle, is isolated in the cogs. Can't lifesteal True and is down. He's dead, just a bit about out of position there. Great target prioritization, but they still find Lelouch. 2 for 3 so far. Natsumi trying to hold his ground up front. Carl
Cuckoo.
now, a massive beast in the middle. Cuckoo does fall. Xavius managing to force halfway. Natsumi, time lapse already used. Dispose again from Raging, and the chain stuns from the familiars are enough. Only Xavius left. Carl looking for the captain now. Running in. Avalanche to stall just a little bit, but there's that Dispose once more. A full team wipe going the way of T1.
Yeah, that could actually be a thing, but this, it's like wishful thinking. And Gabby's just gonna go hit the racks. Like, what are you guys gonna do? Like, what are you legitimately? Oh, here we go. Well, this what are you gonna do?
Oh boy. Now, double eye of the storm just melts Savius immediately and melts these objectives. Carl can just go for the push now, all by himself. Doesn't need to wait for much more. Damage is just flying. That just gets machine gun down. Doesn't last long at all. The rack's not going to take too long as well. Fortify is out, but trying to get the lift back. Immediate BKB by force. Hookshot misses this time from AU close up. We'll get the cogs trap, but no follow-up. As AU falls as well. Another set of racks going the way of T1. They catch Natsumi with a Hex. And he's gone. No buyback in the Weaver.
That's it.
He bought the Demon Edge. They catch Lelouch. Great dispose from Raging. No buyback as well for Lelouch. And T1 have a clean shot onto those tier 4s. They are held back by backdoor. Creep wave still coming in from the mid. They should still be able to have enough time without those two big buybacks here. And the GG's called.
Yeah. Polaris holding that GG just a little bit, you know, making them work for it. But in the end, from the start, we thought, you know, T1 maybe a slightly better team. Polaris had a tough DPC tournament. They did do well in this so far, but with that draft, with the Weaver carry, which can work, but T1's just more solid all over, you know. Monkey King can do a lot, whereas Weaver really needs to be ahead in terms of net worth. Carl did a really good job in the mid lane against Lucian. In the end, Cuckoo just was able to take those tier 1 towers very early on. And yeah, that's how it went for T1.
Yeah, they just ran over those lanes. It's like what you said earlier in the game, Otomo. If there was one thing Polaris could do, maybe turn back time-lapse in the entire team to go all the way back and fix up those lanes. Just a rough start for them there. T1 just showing up. And this roster change